Hello and welcome to the 25th episode of She Codes by Perfect. I'm Sanghati Goswami, project lead at Perfect, and today I'm going to see a very talented woman from the industry, Neha Srivastava. With a BE degree in Electricals, Electronics and Communications Engineering, her professional break was at Wipro Technologies. And with her quick learning ability, Neha could then build herself a quite powerful spectrum of experience from working some of the leading companies like Thomson Reuters to working at Oracle and then Microsoft. And now she is emerging with innovation and hence as an entrepreneur with something super cool and exciting in the field of education. Neha is also the author of two technology oriented books. Someone with a very poised and generous attitude and always with a smile, Neha is here with us to share her journey as a women engineer. So let's welcome Neha and understand her vision of the technology industry. Hi Neha, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you for asking. Nice to see you finally on She Codes.
Yeah, same here.
So, Neha, tell us about your journey from completing an engineering degree to getting your first professional break.
Sure. I am from by education electronics and communication engineer. If we compare the current awareness of students with the awareness used to have 13, 14 years back, so there is a huge gap or difference we can say. So that time, the thumb rule which every student used to follow, if you get a good rank, your first option would be electronics and communication, and then they used to go for computer science and everything. And the awareness was less compared to what now students have. They even a toddler can open a tablet, and they used to have their own laptops. That time when we entered into the engineering, we used to get a desktop. So the things are changing a lot. So that time I selected electronics and communication because I was getting it in the top college of one of the oldest college of India. So the JEC Jabalpur is the one of the 1947 it started. So I took electronics and communication there. And being an electronics and communication engineer, I was not at all aware of any computer science topic. So when I was studying in the college, that time we used to have only one subject, basics of data structure and algorithms, and that too not with any specific language like C, C++. And we learned little bit of C language because it's a good to have kind of thing, but it was not a subject to us. And then we used to write a pseudocode, like write your solution in your own language. So this is how I started my journey. And in computer science, I was not aware of anything. And but as the trend was that everyone used to take electronics and communication, in the same way the trend was that TCS, Wipro, these companies used to come in the campus and take all the branches students, irrespective of they are from computer science or from IT background or from electronics or communication. So in similar way, Wipro Technologies came into my college, and I was placed through campus placement to Wipro Technologies. And it was also they asked diode, triodes, and all electronic stuff from and their thing is that if you are good in learning what you are actually learning, then you can learn different things also. So that's how I joined Wipro at Hyderabad location. And here I went for a 3 months training that was on data structure and C Sharp language and .NET framework and Microsoft technologies and SQL and all those stuff. So the Wipro was the company which introduced me to the computer science world and which changed me from electronics engineer to a software engineer. So that was the beginning of my career here. And so this is how it started.
So I think Neha, you have forwarded forwarded the story of your beginning really well, and it's really interesting to know. And when you say that, when you have started with your engineering background, there was lack of awareness, right? Which means that
Yeah.
there must be times that you had to put a lot of efforts in building yourself professionally, right? So on that note,
Yes.
I would like to ask you how has been your experiences working in some of the leading companies like Thomson Reuters, Oracle, and Microsoft. And since you have told us that you have started your professional journey from working at Wipro, so what are the transitions? What has been the transitions that you have faced? From shifting from Wipro to leading companies like Thomson Reuters, Oracle, and Microsoft.
Yeah. So when I joined, as I said, I had no coding experience, and after 3 months, I started knowing things. And within a year, I was able to deliver projects or codes in a live projects of such a big MNC like Wipro and their clients. That was National Grid UK and all those stuff. So it was quite exciting to learn new things and quickly learn those things like in 3 months time or a 6 month time, and within a year I was able to deliver things. So I would say that if you start learning anything, 3 months or 6 months are enough to change your life from a no coder to a coder. And if I see the different companies where I worked, like after Wipro, I joined Thomson Reuters, and after that Oracle and Microsoft. So each company has a different environment and a different way of working and different culture, work-life balance, and I would say engineering, the different technologies they work on. So I will try to cover these things like different culture, as in Wipro. I used to have a 8 hours culture or 9 hours. You have to spend 8 hours in an office, irrespective you have work or you don't have any work. You have to spend 8 hours there. And when I joined Thomson Reuters, there was a time constraint. Like you have to come morning at 8 o'clock and stay till 5 o'clock. And when I joined Oracle, there was a flexibility. There was no timing, login, logout timing. Then you can come whenever you want. And there was a flexibility. And when I joined Microsoft, there was nothing like timing. You can come to office, you don't come office, but the work should be delivered. So the culture changes through company to company. And apart from this, the technologies changed from last 10 years. In the Wipro, I worked on web applications and ASP.NET. Those are the basic, classic ASP and all the basic stuff. And I was fresher, the team was big, and I was learning there. And when I joined Thomson Reuters, the Silverlight technology emerged that time. It was new to the market as well as for me. So I've learned those things and applied it, because in every company wherever I joined, I learned new technology, because product was totally in a different technology what I knew. So the ASP.NET, and then I learned the Silverlight and MVVM pattern and all those stuff. And when life started becoming stagnant, like bug fixes, because in the Thomson Reuters, it was a product already built in, and then we were just improving it. So then I again looked out for the market, and I got two opportunities in Deloitte and Oracle. So I thought of joining Oracle, and I preferred joining Oracle because it has in-house products like Oracle DB, and Java is also of Oracle. But they hired me for a .NET project, And there I learned the Oracle Apex. It was new for me, and I delivered project alone on Oracle Apex. And in a big event, they also awarded me for completing it in 4 months, and all those stuff happened. So in every company, you have a different challenges and different technologies and engineering team, which works in a different way. And when I joined Microsoft, it was totally new, and I never worked on cloud and Azure. I was not aware of all these stuff, and then not knowing these things, and then again delivering projects in a creating a PaaS application, moving solutions to the Azure. These things I have learned. So in every company, I had a good learning experience, and apart from technology and engineering work, I also gained the domain knowledge of different companies. And so the domain was in Wipro. I worked on an energy domain. It was energy and eco energy domain. National Grid was a company about how to save energy, and all those kind of stuff was there. When I joined Thomson Reuters, there the domain was tax and accounting. So I got to know about the taxation of different companies and different countries. It varies country to country, and those kind of stuff. And then in Oracle, it was a healthcare domain where I have gone through the trials, like how Novartis and big pharmaceutical companies do the trials, and what is the process of it. So that was a good learning of the different domains. And when I joined Microsoft, in Microsoft, it's a volume licensing and e-commerce, where I got to know the process how HP, Dell, or big IT MNCs and companies purchases products or licenses from Microsoft in bulk, like Windows licenses or Office licenses, Visual Studio licenses. So they purchase in a bulk. So those things I got to know. So cultural difference, and the work-life balance, and the technology domain, everything was different in every company. So this was quite exciting to learn new things and quickly learn those things, because you can't spend 6 months or 3 months everywhere. You have to be a quick learner, and your basics should be strong. That's what I will say, that fundamentals should be clear and strong. Because when I was in Oracle, I was working on Apex and different technologies, and I was not in touch of coding for around a year, because I was doing work on Oracle Apex and not coding on the Microsoft technologies. When I got offer from Microsoft, or invite from Microsoft, because my fundamentals were clear and my basics were clear, I was able to crack those things, and I moved to Microsoft, because coding is something that you need practice. If you stop doing it for 1 year or 6 months, you'll be little feel awkward that can I do it again or something. And someone asks you to write on a notepad, then you should be pro in that, so that you can write it without any error. So those things happen. So you should be basics should be strong enough. And so these things were changing company to company, like what technology you need to use, and work-life balance and all those stuff. And then I authored a book. So I was reading some quote there. It says that if you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. So that was a quote I found from Einstein. So I thought, if I'm learning something, let's give it back to the community. So that's how I authored 2 books on .NET Core, one with Pact Publishing and one with BPP. So I learned .NET Core, and also I tried to write books on it. So that's how I became an author. And now, after spending 5 years, around almost 5 years at Microsoft, I thought of doing something new because since last 10 years I am doing these kind of things. So I thought, let's do something different. And now I started to think about my own startup. So that's how this thought came into my mind, and now I'm currently working on my own startup.
Okay, so that's great, Neha. I think uh, your spectrum of work experience is really vibrant. You have got the experience of working at different work cultures, having a different working environment, right? And
Yes.
from whatever you have said, I think learning technology quickly is a very difficult thing. But to learn to grow in this industry, one has to be a quick learner, right? And that's one of the greatest
Yeah.
capability to grow in the profession. And it is also evident from whatever you have said that you are a team worker and also one women army. And having said that, somebody who has authored 2 books and is about to start with her own venture, I think, if I'm not wrong, the venture name is something super cool.
It's just a placeholder because when I updated in a LinkedIn, that time the name was under registration process, and I was not sure that I will get that name or not. So I just kept it as something super cool. I would say it's just a placeholder because 80% process is now done. So I can say that the name would be a Jigyasam Technology Private Limited, and that is mostly about the education system. And I couldn't say that we are going to disrupt the way we read the books, and and how we read magazine or books or anything. We are going to disrupt that way. That patent is under process, and this startup is still in the startup phase. So it's in very initial phase, and we selected this name Jigyasam because it comes from curiosity or jigyasa. So our tagline would be curiosity leads to knowledge. So that's what our tagline and thinking behind this is. If you are curious enough, you can gain knowledge. If you don't have the curiosity to learn anything, it's difficult to, if knowledge is all around, but you should be curious to accept it or get it. So that's how it is. And I hope we'll discuss about it in future once things are settled down. Currently it's in very it's bootstrapping, so it's in very starting phase.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So I think that's a very innovative idea, and we wish you all the best. And we would really, love to see you being successful in this journey. As you have said that it's a venture on the education field. So would you like to share with us, especially to with the freshers of the industry, as to how to crack an interview, especially when they're looking for an opportunity?
Yeah, sure. So I would say there is no silver bullet which fits all. Like you have a single pattern to crack an exam. You have to see the job description, and you have to build a strong resume out of it. Like there should be a resume reflecting your skills well, and based on the job description. And if you have those skills, highlight those skills is what is very important. And to get shortlisted for big MNCs, because they see the skills. If skills are matching, then only they shortlist us. So instead of writing stories about your projects, what you did and all those stuff, you should write bullet points, like this or that, your experience with the technology is what you know. And apart from this, when someone goes for interview, usually the first question they ask is, tell us about yourself. So in that is the best opportunity to portray yourself, and based on the job description or the technology you are more comfortable with, I would suggest that students should start or pinpoint their skills, mostly focus on those skills when you are introducing yourself, so that your interview will start with that technology or that skill. So you can change the direction of interview, stating your skills confidently, and the skills which you are more comfortable with. So this is how you can change the direction also in the interview. And I would say that practice is most important thing. You should practice a lot. It's not like you just practice one or two questions and you think, yeah, I can crack it. So if you are consuming 30 minutes time to solve any problem, in interview it might take 40-50 minutes. So the time flies in interviews. So the student should try to complete it in half of the time before jumping for the solution, and always think what is the best approach possible. Is it, and don't just start updating or just start coding whatever you think. Think twice that is it the best approach, what is the complexity of it, can I improve it further? And once you find that yes, this is the what best I can do, then the person should jump into the coding. And apart from this, interviewers always try to give hints. That's what I usually see, that the interviewer, when they interview, and every interviewer, they really want student or the person who applied that he should be hired. So they try to give you hints. So you should be ready to pick up the hints and apply those things in your solution. So these are the few tips which can help to crack interviews.
Yeah, so I think Neha, whatever you have said, they are very simple yet the best, tips to crack an interview. I think the ones that will be going through the interview, I think they should really note down these points on their notepads and quickly start working on that. Yeah, so we are not we are left with a very very short time. Lastly, I would like to send out a message to the women engineers community, based on the entire experience so far you have had, and with the vision of yours towards this technology industry.
Yeah, so I would say that keep learning and keep upgrading your version, because as Microsoft also upgrade their versions of products in every year or 6 months, you should also update your version. You cannot be a same person throughout your career. You have to inculcate your new things into yourself and update your version so that you will be relevant to the market. The older a person, there is a time, things are changing in very fast pace. So the growth mindset is also very important. You should be self-critical, that am I doing good? And instead of asking others that if it is fine, we should ask ourselves, is it the best I could do? So this is what I think we should keep asking ourselves, that before delivering anything or before doing anything, is it the best I could do? Is there anything I can do better? Or update yourself is one thing. Embrace changes, I would say, that things are changing in a very fast way. So embrace those changes, accept and welcome the changes, and zeal of learning should be there. And the fast learning is important. And the last thing I would say is fundamentals must be strong for anything you do in your life.
Okay, so Neha, that was a really great and a strong message. Thank you for that. And thank you for coming on She Codes because we really had an awesome conversation with you. And we really
Thank
look
you.
forward to work with you in the future. Thank you so much.
Sure, thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you for providing this platform, wonderful platform.
Really glad. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
Have a good day to you too. Thank you. Bye bye.
Neha Srivastava can be an inspiration to many of us. She is an epitome of generosity and a true leader. If you loved watching this episode with Neha, then please like this video, share it with your friends and colleagues, and subscribe to the channel of Perfect. And keep motivating the entire community of engineers. Thank you.